Hello, it's Tim from Fair Play Now on the 4th of December 2021 outside Australia House here in London, the Australian Embassy, here to show our support in London and the UK for all our Australian brothers and sisters going through the tyranny that is existing there in Australia right now. So enjoy the footage I'll be shooting today up here, and you can see the support that you're getting in London here. And for every one of us here, you can rest assured there's another 1,000 back at home supporting you as well.
Made into a bed, and someone who's working all the time and needs to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning, sleeps there.
And he found that he stood and young city as a man will have a waltz in the tree.
Oh, okay.
Just a few shots to get.
People screamed and they ran as they jabbed them in the billabong.
Hello there.
Yeah, hi, my name's Francis. I've come here today simply to stand up for the way the Aboriginal people are being treated in Australia. Absolutely disgraceful. I can't believe that in this day and age the world is actually putting up with that. It seems to me that history is repeating itself when you look back and see some of the atrocities throughout time. We can't let these things happen in our time. Please, please support these people.
Oh, it's Michael John. We've got Janet, John, Michael. There you are.
Well, Julian Assange, he's been warning us for 10 years, you know, what the world is coming to, the tyranny that's taken over all of the world. And unfortunately, a lot of people didn't listen because they fell for the Suez Stream mismedia, which, you know, we don't live in a democracy, we live in a mainstream mediaocracy. People can't think for themselves anymore, it's whatever the TV tells them. If you watch the movie Network, you know, he says, we'll tell you whatever you want to hear, and that's not always the best.
Hello there. What brings you here today to Australia House?
Well, solidarity with the Australian people for what they're going through in New South Wales and Victoria and the other state. It's not in Queensland yet, but I've got friends in Queensland, and it looks pretty rough, and especially seeing a video of the Aboriginal people, which I saw, and they were speaking out, and it looks, from the videos we're allowed to see, we get to see that there's a lot of brutality, and that the police have gone a little bit over the top with their powers and kind of launching on people in gangs. And it's like if we don't show solidarity with them, it's like what's going to happen next? It's a testing ground. So yeah, that's why I'm here.
Right, well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Cheers. Hello, what's brought you here today?
Hi, well, I'm really concerned about what's going on in Australia because my son lives out there and he can't get out, we can't get in. I see what's going on all over Australia. with the fascism and the police, and I just think it's a huge worry, and they are a test bed for the UK, and so I think we really need to support Australia in its distress. Thank you.
Well said, thank you very much. Cheers. So there we go, had a little bit of fun here at Australia House, and hasn't been a bad day actually. I dare say it's a tad warmer in Oz than it is here right now. And another thing, these rebels on roundabouts, I joined in for about half an hour just around the corner from Australia House. We just did a little stint, as you can see in this footage, highly enjoyable. So I might have to do more of those. I know that's something else that is spreading all over the country right now. So here I am just back home from my little journey up to Australia House there in London today to show my support for our Aussie kind of sisters and brothers who are suffering greatly right now. And yeah, turnout wise, it wasn't bad, I didn't think. Some people up there were slightly disappointed, but I kind of thought it was all right considering the time of year and the fact that it wasn't hugely publicised, even in the kind of channels I look at, not in the latter stages anyway. So I thought the turnout wasn't bad. I thought what I'd also do, as promised in an earlier video from this week, is to report on muzzleage levels on the trains and tube. Well, on the trains, it was because I went on the train pretty much the same journey a couple of weeks ago. The levels of muzzleage were higher, I've got to say, on the trains, although there was, because back then it was about 50-50, it's probably more like kind of 80, 85 to sort of 15-20 muzzled up as opposed to unmuzzled. But there was a lot of people not wearing them, so I thought that was a really good sign. So you're certainly not going to be alone if you travel on the railways, if you've got a trip planned in the near future. On the London Underground, the percentages of muzzled were quite a lot higher, but there again, it's been mandatory to wear them on there anyway, all the way through the summer and the autumn. So the levels there were pretty much the same. But one thing that will comfort you if you are planning on going on, certainly the London Underground, but pretty much everything else as well, is the announcements as you kind of on the London Underground are saying, of course, that you've got to muzzle up and that you might be kicked off the network or even fined if you don't. But it then goes on to say there are exemptions, and exemptions might not necessarily be visible, so please be kind, is what they actually say in the announcement. So if you're planning on going really on anything, I think these people, these companies, these organisations, they have been warned by whoever that they have to accept the exemptions and also dissuade anyone else from having a go at people who are exempt. And you can sort of just claim exemption for pretty much anything as well. I know I'm exempt because, as you know, muzzles get my blood boiling,
and make me very cross indeed. They get the sort of heart rate going, and as I'm a guy in my late 50s, increased blood pressure isn't a good thing, so that is a perfectly good and valid reason to claim exemption. So it can just be something as simple as that. Anyway, final thoughts on the day. A great day up there. I thought it was a reasonably good turnout, and we showed our support for Australia. We care about you guys deeply here and about what's going on, so I hope you're heartened that there are people around the world listening to your plight and taking heed, and together we will come through this. So I'll leave it there. Tim from Fair Play Now, thanks for watching.